Hi BookTube, Sarah here and welcome to my channel. Today I am coming to you with my March 2021 pre-orders. So I did this back in, well, it's February right now, but I did this for February and I talked about all of the books that I put on pre-order. So this is in a way an anticipated reads, but an anticipated reads that I'm actually purchasing all of the books that I am going to talk about. So I have 9 books again this month. So let's jump right in. So the very first one, and I do go in order of release date for these, comes out March the 1st, and it's a Carolina, sorry for shaking the table, a Carolina Valentine by Michelle Major. There is no cover image for this yet. This is a novella. It is part of, I believe, the Magnolia Sisters series, but this is about 2 other characters, and it sounds like they need each other as dates for a wedding, and you know, a story kind of goes from there. Again, it's a novella. It takes place over Valentine's Day, which sounds absolutely delightful. Kind of wish it came out in February, but it is what it is. And these stories, though, are sweet. There are no adult content in these. They are really, really cute. I like them a lot. Michelle Major is a great, great author. And yeah, I am very much looking forward to this one as I've read the first 2 books in this series. So I'm really looking forward to the novella. Next one comes out March the 2nd, and this is Marriage and Murder by Penny Reid. This is the 2nd book in the Solving for Pi, a Cletus and Jen cozy mystery series. So I read the first book of this series in January, and I really enjoyed it. So if you are a fan of the Winston Brothers series by Penny Reid, then I really think that you should pick this one up. But I recommend that you read at least book 3 before you delve into this series, and that perhaps you do read this series in order. It is labeled as a cozy mystery, but for those cozy mystery fans out there, this may not be exactly what you're looking for, because true to form with Penny Reid, these get very, very, very spicy. They are a lot of fun, though. Cletus, I think, is a fan favorite character, which is why she did this. And Jen also is absolutely delightful. So the first book in the series, Engagement and Espionage, takes place right after the events of book 3. So this one takes place right after that one. And sorry if the lighting is changing. The clouds keep covering the sun and stuff outside. But anyway, this one is a lot of fun. This series is a lot of fun. Again, for those who are fans of Cletus and Jen, and of course the Winston brothers in general, and Penny Reid, definitely need to check this one out. Next up, also coming out on March the 2nd, is Summer by the River by Debbie Burns. This is a standalone novel. I believe this is being labeled more as a women's fiction as opposed to a strict contemporary romance. Now, I've been reading Debbie Burns for a number of years. She has a great series all about rescue dogs, about, what do you call it? Like a rescue dog, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank today, like a humane society kind of an idea, but for rescue dogs. And all the stories in that series all take place in and around that facility. So this one, again, is a standalone novel. It is outside of that series, but of course it does involve dogs. It's about a single mom and her young daughter who move across the country to the Midwest and kind of start a new life. They are invited to stay in this tea shop, and I guess she starts working in the tea shop and meets a local guy, and he's got a rescue dog, and it just sounds adorable. Debbie Burns, she is a dog owner herself, so she knows, and dogs are featured very, very prominently within her stories. They are really, really cute. Everyone by her that I've read has been absolutely fantastic, so I am really, really looking forward to this one. The next book that I want to share with you comes out on March the 9th, and it is Sandcastle Beach by Jenny Holiday. This is the 3rd book in the Matchmaker Bay series. This is a series with a Canadian connection. The author herself is Canadian. I believe she's from Ontario. And this series actually takes place in a fictional town off the shores of Georgian Bay. And this is about sounds like a great summer book. It's about a woman by the name of Maya who is putting on a summer theater. Her lead actor is a former pop star, and she is kind of butting heads with, who is he? He is a local bar owner, is kind of throwing a wrench into her works for this community theater. And of course, the 2 of them are going to develop a relationship. This is a really, really fun series. Again, I do have an extra love for it because it is Canadian and it looks so delightful, and I absolutely cannot wait to read it. Next up, coming out March the 23rd, we have Danger in Numbers by a fan favorite of mine, Heather Graham. I love Heather Graham. Anytime she has a new book coming out, I am all over it. And this is a standalone novel, and it looks so good. It takes place in Florida, and it's pretty much about a ritualistic murder, and the victim is found on the side of the road. And I don't want to know any more than that, really. This is a thriller. It does say here it's doomsday and small town secrets collide in this sultry, twisty, page-turning thriller. I love her work so much. I love what she writes for intrigue. The Crew of Hunters series is an absolute favorite of mine, but this sounds like it's just slightly outside of that. This one might be more thriller-esque, as opposed to a paranormal kind of an idea with the Crew of Hunters. A bit of a longer novel so she can really get more into it. Florida, I believe, is her home state. So, this one sounds really, really good. Again, I'm a big fan of Heather Graham, so this one, it wasn't automatic for me to pre-order. Coming out March the 30th, we have Wild Child by Eloisa James. This is the 6th book in the Wilds of Lindau Castle series. I'm not too sure too much about this one, but I have been really enjoying this series from the get-go. It's, of course, a historical romance series, and it says, he wants a prim and proper duchess, not the wildest of the wilds. So it's a series centered around a group of siblings, and it is just an absolute delight. I have only read the first book in the series so far, but I really, really enjoyed it. If you really enjoy historical romance novels, I highly recommend that you check this series out. You will not be disappointed. Next up, also coming out on March the 30th, is The Last Carolina Sister by Michelle Major. This is the 3rd book in the Magnolia Sisters series. So I talked about what I believe is book 2.5 at the beginning of this video. This is now the 3rd book, so it's about the 3rd sister. So essentially this series centers around 3 sisters who didn't really know that they were sisters. They're half-sisters. And after the death of their father, they meet each other. And each one has so far had their own story. I believe the 0.5 story is about a different character in town. So anyway, this is about the 3rd and final sister, Meredith. And she is an animal lover. She rescues animals. She has an animal rescue place at her farm. And I believe this is the romance between her and he is a busy ER doctor. And he injured his leg. Oh yes, and I guess the animals are going to kind of help him recuperate. So it sounds delightful. I love the first 2 books in this series. I thought that they were so charming and so cute. The series takes place, I believe, in South Carolina, in a small coastal town, which is always fun. I do love a good small town romance. Michelle Major, again, is a fantastic author, and I highly, highly recommend this series. Next up, coming out on March the 30th, we have The Path to Sunshine Cove by Rayanne Thane. This is another women's fiction novel. I am really looking forward to this one. Rayanne Thane is so great, and the last few years she's had some great Christmas ones out. This one is, of course, one that looks like it takes place during the summer, and it's about a main character whose job is to help people downsize. So she sounds like she's one of those Marie Lu kind of self-help people, like downsize your life, make it easier. But she is actually running from a very painful past. And she ends up, I believe, back in her hometown, which is usually the way these things go, and reconnects with her family and perhaps an old love. It sounds really, really good. Rayanne Thane is a standout writer. You're not going to be disappointed if you pick up one of her books. And this one looks like a great, great spring and summer read. And last but not least, also coming out on March the 30th is Sweethand by N.G. Petler. This is book number 1 in the Island Bites series. I saw this book on Instagram, and I will be honest, it was the cover that got me on this one right away. And then when I read what it was about, I'm like, oh, fake relationship? Yes, please. So essentially it's about our main character who was publicly dumped by her musician boyfriend. So she's kind of sworn off, men and especially musicians. And then her younger sister is getting married. And of course, she's the maid of honor. And this other guy is the best man. And the two of them don't really get along very well. I believe he's a musician. So of course, that's going to lend, stuff to the story. and the two of them, you know, butt heads at this wedding. I guess they start a fake relationship to keep their families quiet because the families are always bugging them. Oh, when are you going to settle down? Kind of an idea. But again, it was the cover on this one that just looked so cute. I have not heard of this author before, nor have I read anything by them before. So I am really looking forward to this one. It looks so good. Yeah, it says when things turn heated after a rainy night of bedroom fun, they both have to figure out if they can survive the countdown to wedding day without this turning into a recipe for disaster. Sounds delightful, and I cannot wait to read it. So anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below, do any of these books sound good to you? Or are there any books that I did not mention that are coming out in March that you are really looking forward to? And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.